Hello and welcome. If you're a dive professional, then this explainer is 100% for you. We've got some really fascinating survey data that honestly could be your next big business advantage. So let's dive right in.
Okay, first things first. Let's start with a question. I want you to really think about this for a second. As a dive pro, what percentage of your clients, your students, the divers on your boat, do you think genuinely care about understanding the marine environment? Just ballpark a number in your head.
All right, let's start on some common ground. The data shows a huge number. 86.7% of dive pros, people just like you, believe that understanding the aquatic world is important, if not very important. I mean, no surprise there, right? It's our passion, it's our office.
And this is where it gets super interesting. Check this out. Nearly the exact same number of divers, 79.2% of them, feel the exact same way. So this isn't just something we care about as professionals, it's a shared passion that connects us directly with our customers. But the real question is, does that connection actually show up in how we run our businesses?
Well, that brings us right to our first big insight from the data. There's this surprising disconnect between what we think our customers want and what they're actually looking for.
Now, what's really fascinating here is the gap. We just saw that almost 80% of divers care a lot about ecology. But when we asked you, the professionals, to guess that number, you put it at only 60%. That's a nearly 20-point difference. It means we are, as an industry, systematically underestimating just how much our clients care about the environment.
But listen, this isn't a failure. Not at all. This is an opportunity, a huge one. This gap represents a hidden, untapped demand in the market. Your customers are literally walking through your door with a bigger appetite for environmental knowledge than you might be giving them credit for.
And it seems like this perception gap isn't just in our heads. It's actually rooted in something much deeper, something systemic. It's kind of built into the way we're all trained, from that very first open water course all the way up to instructor.
Just look at these numbers for a second. They are shockingly low. Only about 15% of professionals felt their training really prepared them for environmental topics. And for divers, it's just a little better, at around 23%. The conclusion here is pretty hard to avoid. Our formal training system is failing to deliver on a topic that both we and our customers agree is incredibly important.
And that lack of preparation has a real direct impact. When only about 1 in 5 new divers walks away feeling like their instructor was super passionate about the environment, well, that's probably not a knock on the instructor's actual passion. It suggests the course curriculum itself just doesn't give them the space or the tools to share that passion effectively.
So what happens when the system doesn't provide? We figure it out ourselves, right? This data proves it. Almost 2/3 of you said you were primarily self-taught on these topics. Now that says a whole lot about your dedication, for sure. But it also shines a massive spotlight on the failure of the formal training system to provide this critical knowledge.
Okay, so let's get a little more personal. All this data starts to paint a picture of a feeling that might be really familiar to you. A feeling of being deeply committed to the environment, but kind of on your own in an industry that doesn't seem to share that same level of commitment. So let's start with you. An overwhelming majority, more than 82% of you feel personally committed to protecting the environment. This is our baseline. This is your core value. But what happens when you look at the business you work for or own? Whoa. That number plummets to less than half, to 44.4%. All of a sudden, that really strong personal commitment starts to feel a little diluted at the business level, doesn't it? There's a clear disconnect there.
And if we go one step further up the chain to the training agencies, the perception of commitment drops again, all the way down to 38.6%. So from where you're standing, the big organizations setting the standards seem even less committed than the local dive shop.
And finally, the industry as a whole, a jaw-droppingly low 20%. This whole sequence just visualizes a feeling so many of you probably have. You're all in, but you feel like you're part of an industry where a full 80% of it just isn't pulling its weight.
So yeah, if you've ever felt that frustration, like you care more than your business or your agency or the industry at large, this data is here to tell you you are not crazy. And you are definitely not alone. It's a shared experience. And you know what? This frustration is actually the key to a huge opportunity.
So let's make the pivot. We've seen the gaps, we've validated the frustration, and now we can zero in on the clear, actionable business case that's just sitting here in the data. This is where you can take the lead.
Just look at this incredible alignment. It's amazing.
The very things you want to learn more about, pollution, climate change, fish ID, coral ID, are the exact same topics your customers are dying to learn about too. This isn't a guess. This is a data-driven roadmap for what you should be offering. You want to teach it, and they absolutely want to learn it.
What this all means is that offering real, engaging environmental education isn't just some nice-to-have add-on. It's not just a passion project. It is a direct response to a proven, unmet demand from both sides of your dive shop counter. Honestly, it's just plain good business.
And you don't even have to guess how to get started. The data tells us exactly how you, the professionals, prefer to learn this stuff. Over 80% of you want online courses and webinars. This is the blueprint. You can find or even create these kinds of modern, easy-to-access resources to fill your own knowledge gaps and then immediately turn that knowledge into new courses and workshops for your clients.
So we'll end on this thought. The data has shown us in no uncertain terms that there is a massive gap in the market left by the industry. It's shown us that your customers are actively asking for this knowledge, you've got the passion, you see the need, and now you can see the business case. The only real question left is, who's going to be the first to answer that call and turn this incredible opportunity into their competitive advantage?